Hello everyone and welcome to episode 128 of the TEW 2020 New Japan Pro Wrestling series here on the channel, as it is the King of Pro Wrestling tournament as far as, that's, obviously the main focus, but not only that, with this King of Pro Wrestling, we're not going to have just one, but two title matches. Of course, on the previous episode, we ended it out with the press conference of seeing Daniel Makabe challenge Will Hobbs, since he beat him during the tag team title matchup on that show. But also, we get to see IWGP Heavyweight title matchup as Hiromu Takahashi has requested this matchup with La Sombra, thanks to La Sombra attacking him during the press conference after Dominion, which saw, of course, Sombra claim that he was going to win the G1, be the first ever, as far as Mexican-born G1 winner, and then go on to become the first ever Mexican-born heavyweight champion. He's got a chance to at least do one of those two things, as far as obviously he fell short of the G1 Climax goal, but gets the heavyweight title matchup, which that will be the co-main event. We will, as far as go into the King of Pro Wrestling, I'm not going to show off what the final show is going to look like, because obviously it's most of the tournament, so there is that. But I will say this, this King of Pro Wrestling is going to be very different compared to some of the other ones we've done in the past, actually all of the ones we've done in the past. Because two people have already qualified. Reason being, Hiromu Takahashi, Hiroshi Tanahashi has made it official. Miro versus Jay White is set to take place in a steel cage. And not only that, he says that there will be a special enforcer inside the ring to make sure that there will be a finish. So that's going to be a lot of fun to see how that plays out. So that's going to be taking place, of course, on the final show. So there's only going to be 6 men that qualify instead of 8. So even though there's 4 Road 2 shows, and normally we have the 2 qualifying, we have 2 on days 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, But now there will only be qualifying matches on days 1 through 3. So that's going to be a little bit more compact, and also we'll get to build up to the actual tournament matches on day 4. So we'll take a look at the final, as far as like what the bracket is going to look like, probably going into day 4. That seems like that makes the most sense. We're already here for day 1, as we're already getting booked ready to go, so that's going to be exciting to run through. As without further ado, let's get it on. As far as Keisuke Okuda and Yo taking on 2 young lions here of Isaki Kawajiri and Osamu Nojima, as Keisuke Okuda will get the submission victory with a cross armbar here. He has Isaki with a 16, Osamu with a 28, so that's not too bad, especially for someone who's pretty new, so that's nice. It was a good performance from Keisuke Okuda, though. Maybe not good. A decent performance from Okuda and Yo. And then we have Kaito Crusher beating Angel Garza, as far as Kaito Crusher getting the win. The 4-way qualifying matchup, one of the 2, on the next show here for day 2 will be Diamond K. So a little build up for him, a little momentum building going into the matchup there. And since the opener didn't as far as the crowd didn't really warm up to that, this also sucks as well. It would have been a little bit better, obviously. The crowd been warmed up, but not 59, I guess we'll take it for a tour show. It's an 8-man tag, so obviously with the Makabe, Will Hobbs matchup set for the U.S. title, we can do this here with an 8-man tag as Zack Sabre Jr., Daniel Makabe, Walter, and Lee Moriarty, which we're actually going to see the 4-way for United Empire on night 2 as well, so a little build-up for them as well to get things going, as Walter's going to beat Brody Lee here with a Golden Bomb in 10 minutes as well, so a great performance from him. And poor Brody gets destroyed there with a Golden Bomb in 10 minutes. Fun match, though, as far as to have United Empire get the win here, and a good performance from them, obviously. Hobbs and Tankman try to do a lot of the heavy lifting for Dark Order, but obviously we're not going to get close to the level of them in United Empire. But it's a good little matchup. So we see Claudio Castagnoli, Chaz Gable, Hook, and Yehai in the 4-way matchup here. So as far as the first man to qualify is Chaz Gable, actually, as he pins Yehai with a great amplitude. We have a dislocated finger for Claudio. And, yeah, I mean, obviously Chaz Gable, best guy in the match here, so he gets the win. Really no surprise from that regard. Again, it sucks that Ashino's injured, so we really needed to have somebody from Suzuki-gun step up, and I think Chaz Gable's the guy for that. That sucks about the dislocated finger. And the next one, oh my god, a fully ruptured major tendon in the pectoral for Eddie Kingston here. Thank God it's Kingston. If someone was going to get injured in that matchup, I'm glad it was Kingston. But Pac with the 450 splash onto Eddie Kingston. Boy, onto a torn pec too, a fully ruptured. Whew, that is tough. Big tough there. But yeah, Eddie Kingston getting banged up here. But the main event, as far as trios matchup here, Bomb Squad versus Los Ingobernables de Japón, building up to the Hiromu Sombra matchup as Samurai del Sol pitting Bushu with the Del Sol driver. The great trios matchup there, and a great trio in general for as far as with Bomb Squad. 287s and an 80, Sombra with an 86. Some great shit there in our main event. Kind of saved the show, to be honest. Actually, that 8-man did a lot better than I anticipated. 80 is actually really good for that 8-man. But yeah, the title match builders, if you will, did really well. They were the best things on the card. 2 injuries in the 2 qualifying matches, but Pac and Chaz Gable, which they'll be facing off against each other. So basically, what I did, I felt like this was a good idea to make it a little bit more easier. Each day that has the 2 qualifying matches, the 2 winners, they're going to face off against each other on the final show in the first round. So, we have the JY Miro matchup, but we also have now obviously Pac and Gable. So that's going to be fun as far as to see now the second half of that equation for the first round. Here, going on to day 2. Alrighty, day 2 starts off with Black Taurus versus Brian Nevada. There's a little young lion matchup there. Brian Nevada, I mean, he's close to probably being ready for Excursion. He has been around for about a year or so. Probably another year or so, and he'll be ready. But, 37's not too bad. Again, kind of the thing that we're looking for is that kind of 40-plus range is the key. But 37, not too bad at all. As, of course, Black Taurus getting the win there with the Infernal Suplexes. Roderick Strong and Daniel Garcia, which Jagiston will be in the qualifying matchup for the next show. So hence why they're on this show here. It's Roderick Strong and Daniel Garcia getting the win, too, over Oiwa and Yuto Nakashima. It's a good little match. Good little technical masterclass matchup. Got a cattle mutilation, too, from Garcia over Oiwa. And yeah, Garcia, best guy in the match, too. So that was awesome to see. Another injury, my God, as Ryoto Machizuki probably fucks up his nose here. From the looks of it, he still gets the win, though, in 10:03. But, Tsuki Aowagi, best guy in the match. Him and Ryoto, because of that, because of his 69 overall, is the reason why they get the win here. But, tough break about the injury, because I think that would have helped out Machizuki's rating. Obviously, if he wasn't injured, but it is what it is there. I'm surprised nobody calls that. As a 72 for the first of 2 qualifying matches we'll see tonight, of course, as it's Kingdom of Strong style, which we see Nakamura win with the triangle choke over Alex Shelley. So great win there for Nakamura. As a 74 for the trios match between House of Torture and the Monstars University team, as far as Miro, Keith Lee, and Samoa Joe. 3 very beefy men taking on Jay White, Tora Sujora, and Brody King, which Keith Lee pins Sujora after a power slam. Everybody actually did really good in this matchup besides Sujora, unfortunately, which breaks my heart. But a good match, though. A good little co-main for this tour show. And in our main event, the Diamond K 4-way qualifying matchup is Kota Umeda pinning Kaito Crusher, the Fisherman Buster. It's a tough win for Kota Umeda, though, to beat, Kenta and Katsuki Nakajima. Konosuke Takeshita not involved in this, as he is, of course, the Intercontinental Champion still. Felt like he could use, obviously, a rest before Wrestle Dynasty. But, as far as, let's see what Kota Umeda can do. Maybe potentially we'll see a Diamond K member as the heavyweight champ. And, of course, there's the New Japan Strong Openweight Tag Champs. Maybe Kaito Crusher gets that junior heavyweight title off of Daichi Hashimoto. And, they'll be kind of running shit if that is the case. But, yeah, great performance from Umeda. He's the best guy in the match. And he gets the well-deserved win. It felt like it was a better show as far as from day 1. I felt like it flowed a lot better. It's crazy that this did better almost than the four-way here. That's kind of wild. But yeah, Nakamura and Shelley were kind of the strong performers of that one. And it's already halfway through the tour, just like that. As on to day 3, we go. Alrighty, day 3. We start off with Baroni Yamamura taking on Isaki Kawajiri, as Kawajiri at least getting better, slowly but surely. Baroni with a 62, as he, of course, gets the win. And that was a 54-68 for the, as far as a Joshi tag matchup here, with Athena and Saletta taking on Queen's Quest of Saya Kamatani and Sori Ananu, as far as, only a couple point difference, but Saletta and Athena, they get the win. It's Athena with the O-face over Saya Kamatani. So, at least the right team, as far as ratings-wise, gets the win there. And that will lead into the Technical Masterclass 4-way, with Lee Moriarty getting the win. An upset win for sure. He beats Jonathan Gresham. Incredible stuff. Gresham, best guy in the match, loses to one of the worst guys in Lee Moriarty. He's going on to the next round. That's a crazy win, though. Don't think a lot of people expected the Never Openweight champ, Falter, and Zack Sabre Jr. not to be involved in the finish in that one. But I figure with a Technical Masterclass matchup, that's a fun way of kind of putting together like an exhibition match. But these guys not really trying to go full force, trying to just catch each other with a hold and to see, as far as who's the best grappler out of the bunch there. As Designs of Perfection, Jude London, Paris Day Silva, and Logan McQueen taking on Koji Kamai of course, El Hiro de Hermana Francesca Kira, and Yo, as Logan McQueen pitting Yo with the Grave Walker. Yeah, I mean, Yo, worst guy in the match. Makes sense he takes the fall there. It's a good match, though. Logan McQueen did pretty well. Paris Day Silva, he was really off his game. But yeah, got the crowd buzzing, so it did its job there for the Steal the Show matchup. Then the next 4-way, Hayata Tamura, Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong, Dan Garcia, as Hayata Tamura with the Hayato Driver in 1942. Great win there. And he's going on to as far as we'll be seeing him, of course, in the tournament. He'll be taking on Lee Moriarty in their first match. Is a submission matchup in their first round matchup, as Sombra and Shingo taking on Hiromu Takahashi and Ryu Lee here, as Ryu Lee pinning Shingo in a pretty great main event, actually, for our tour show. Again, building up to the Sombra Hiromu matchup, with Shingo being the worst guy in the match, so of course he takes the fall. And yeah, there's 84 there. Actually, a really good show. Again, the 84 and the 86 for the match is on a 4-way. Obviously would have been a lot higher if we just made it a regular match, but I wanted it to really be a Technical Masterclass matchup. That way, it is a bit of something like kayfabe logic behind Moriarty getting the win there. But yeah, as far as and also Kota Umeda and Shinsuke Nakamura, I forgot to talk about this for day 2. Their matchup in the first round, it's a normal singles match, so they get the singles matchup. So we have our first round tournament matches set. Of course, steel cage matchup with Jay White and Miro, the special enforcer, inside the ring. We'll see as far as with Pac and Chaz Gable. That's actually going to be under pure rules, so that's going to be a lot of fun. Basically, the idea, limited amount of rope breaks is it's not full-on, like, submission, but it's definitely, and it's not like a grappling contest either. It is like the Ring of Honor Pure Rules type of matchup. So that's going to be fun to do. And then also, of course, the normal matchup with Umeda and Nakamura, and the submission matchup with Moriarty and Hayata Tamura. And that's the first round matches. And now we'll go into the final tour show. As far as, actually, since we're already here. So, of course, there's the first round matches. So then the next round, which you see the winners there, Jay White and Kota Umeda, they are going to win their matchups. It's going to be a lumberjack match, so that's going to be fun. It's going to be Diamond K and House of Torture at ringside for that one. Then a finisher match between Pac and Hayato Tamura. Of course, first man to hit their finisher gets the win. And of course, the co-main event is the heavyweight title match. I figured we should probably have the King of Pro Wrestling, or the King of Wrestling. I don't know what happened there. As King of Pro Wrestling should probably be the finals. I don't know. Now I'm thinking about it, though. Oh, it's tough. It's tough. Man, part of me is like, it'd probably be smart to have Sombra in a room, because I know that match is going to rule. Yeah, I think we are gonna have that. Think what we're gonna do. I think we're gonna go with have this be the main, the heavyweight title matchup, have the U.S. title go here, and then yeah, we'll so the first round. I don't know if we'll add a match here. We could, but I don't think we will, because Jay White and Umeda, at least they'll have like a match break in between there. And tomorrow we'll get a match break as well. So yeah, that will be what it is. So the tournament part will be basically the first half of the show, and the title match for the U.S. title with Makabe Hobbs, then the King of Pro Wrestling finals, and then, of course, the main event now, the heavyweight title matchup. I like that card actually a lot more now looking at it. So there we go. As far as that is the final show. But of course, to get there, we're going to go through this one last Row 2 show as the go-home show of this King of Pro Wrestling tour is next. Well, since we haven't really done like any booking in a while, like the showcase and the booking stage of this, we might as well do it. As Masahiro Hara brought for Wrestler's Court, accused of being absorbed by his phone. They should have been paying attention to the regular locker room meeting. As the judge, Shinsuke Nakamura, found him guilty and sentenced to buy a crate of beer for the locker room. And then Sonata, passing on psychology tips to Kenji Shige, even though he's been obviously absent with this suspension. Trying to think where I want to run this show. Because obviously, the final show, I think we're going to try to run Kanto. We'll see, though. Is the Nisei Arena. So our main event will definitely build up to the main event of the heavyweight title matchup, which is an 8-man tag here. L.I.J. versus Bomb Squad. Basically that kind of same tag match that we just saw. But now we're adding Yota Tsuji and Bushi to the mix. And we're also adding Samurai del Sol and Kawada to the mix. As Sombra will be beating Kawada. So he's going to get a win before going into the main event of our final show, of course. Then we also, building up with Konosuke Takeshita Umeda against Shinsuke Nakamura and Kushida. Building up to their singles matchup. Which that's going to be a really, really good matchup, as Takeshita's going to beat Kushida there. Also, Suzuki-gun and Task Force Death, which of course will be building up to Pac and Gable, which Pentagon Jr. is going to beat Claudio Castagnoli. As they are the 4.6-man tag team champs, I thought about maybe putting the belt on the line, but I figured a non-title match would be a good idea. Also, Dark Order, United Empire, Trios match is Hobbs. It's going to be Gresham, so a big win for the Dark Order there. Poor Jonathan Gresham, though. He's been kind of getting shit on as of late. Yeah, we'll put it there, actually. Ah, man, it's tough. It's tough. Because I feel like Gresham probably shouldn't lose this like that. Let's go with Makabe, actually. Let's have Hobbs beat the, be like a double team, the Doomsday Plunge, as Brody's, like, taking out Zack and Gresham on the outside type of thing. And then also the opening contest, Young Lion matchup, Jason Lee and Hideo Oka, which of course, Hideo Oka's going to lose. And then a draw here between Miro and Samoa Joe against Jay White and Brody King. Basically double count out or double DQ, whichever the game is going to spit out. We'll take, since we can't, if we pick a fucking finish out of the two, the game will it'll spit out, let's say, have a rating, so we better just stick with this. But yeah, I like this show. Like that basically every match besides obviously the opener is building up to the final show. So I do like that a lot. And I actually kind of like the way this played out. And yeah, we should be good to go to run it. Jason Lee's getting the win over Hideo Oka with a Hong Kong Tornado in 10:27. So good win, good performance from Jason Lee. 81 from Task Force Death and Suzuki-gun as Pentagon Jr. pinning Claudio Castagnoli with a Fear Factor. Of course, Claudio's got a dislocated finger, which he was awful. He was the worst guy in the match by far. Pentagon Jr., though, getting a nice victory. Him and Ray Phoenix, and of course, Pac doing well. Man, a grade 1 groin strain for Zack Sabre Jr. These injuries have been crazy. Hobbs with the order of business over Daniel Makabe in 2012. See, I mean, this schedule is not for the weak. That is for sure. Man, that is tough, though, to get a groin strain like that. And Konosuke Takeshita pinning Kushida with a javelin kick. Great win for Takeshita. Him and Umeda, of course, better team. It wasn't really close either, but an 80, though, there. Then the double DQ for House of Torture versus Monstars University. Joe was the worst guy in the match, actually. I guess that's not too crazy, since he's definitely the oldest guy in that matchup. But Jay White Miro did exactly the same, too, so that's nice to see. 77 for Los Ingobernables de Japón and Bomb Squad, as we see Los Sombra beating Kawada with the Brilliante driver, and that's a 77. Surprised it was as bad as it was, but I guess Yotsuchi, Shingo, Bushi, and Kawada all were like in the mid-60s, high to mid-60s. Besides, but actually Bushi with a 61. If he wasn't really off his game, it's probably been in the 80s, but at least Sombra and Hiromu and Riley did really well. It's really no surprise. Yeah, I'm surprised. I mean, that was definitely worse than day 3. That is for sure. Sucks about the injury, but kind of blessed it wasn't Makabe or Hobbs. That would have really fucked things up for us, but we got that relatively unscathed. Crazy that we had four tour shows, and I think we had 3 injuries on that on the tour. It's pretty brutal. And we're not even at the final show, so maybe there'll be an injury there too to really just fuck things up for us. So on to the King of Pro Wrestling final show we go. Alrighty, we start off with a 97, goddamn, and we got a sold out crowd at the Antonio Inoki Super Arena though for this one. That's just very, very awesome to see that to 100,000 people. And we could even add even more people in the goddamn arena, which is crazy, but obviously we capped it at 100,000 as Pac beating Chaz Gable the 6:30 and 23:52, of course, going on to the next round. And the special enforcer, a man from Jay White's past, and Prince Devitt. Boy, oh boy, the real rock and roller. He is back in New Japan. Now, what happens here is with the return, and, it's got the ref shirt on, and it's like, oh, cool. As, everyone gets into the ring, and then, they get the, as far as everything squared away, trying to get everybody, locked in the cage. Miro is trying to hand, like a t-shirt or, something from his entrance gear to the outside, to, like, the referee outside before he shuts the cage door. But Devitt and Jay White, the whole time during the entrances, the whole time, and Jay White's, like, shocked, and Devitt's, like, staring him down, and it's looking like he's really here to call it down the middle, be the, special ref, and to be the guy that's in there to call it straight, right down the middle. However, it's all a ruse, as, he's got his back turned, 2-on-1, Devitt slams the cage door shut onto Miro's head, and it's a beatdown from then on out. Blade Runner into a double foot stomp, and Jay White wins in 5 minutes because of that. Basically, it's the whole it's an angle, basically, is what this match is. But once the bell's rung, and Miro's locked in the cage with Jay White, and it's an interesting call because the Monstars University, they're not there to obviously help him out at ringside. And it's, they pull a fast one on Tanahashi mainly. It's because we'll talk about during the press conference what all has arrived there. But Jay White advancing to the next round due to some shenanigans. So not only is Devitt a part of House of Torture, and then it's a whole ruse is what that was. I can't believe Jay White had an 89 here, though. That was crazy. Did not expect that at all. Great performance from him. Then Nakamura loses to Kota Umeda's Fisherman Buster, but also thanks to interference from Katsuki Nakajima. Nakajima with the interference, as Nakamura is setting up for a Bumae, and Nakajima from the outside pulls him down out of the ring, head kicks him, as far as throws him into the buckle, or throws him in the post rather for good measure, and rolls him back in. Fisherman Buster 1, 2, 3. So with the interference there, Cody Maeda advancing to the next round, but at least he's taking on somebody who is also a cocksucker, and Jay White. That's going to be, of course, the lumberjack matchup. 82 there, but 88 for the submission matchup between Hayata Tamura and Lee Moriarty. Listen, Lee Moriarty with a 91 is insane. Probably should have won. The former heavyweight champion, a man who was main event of Wrestle Kingdom multiple times, loses or gets outperformed by somebody who's never had a singles belt. Like, that's kind of crazy to think. That's how great Lee Moriarty is, though. Gets a submission victory too in 21:35. Would have been with a face lock, but I guess they didn't want to call it that. But yeah, in '88 though, it actually did better than I anticipated, because obviously Tamura still got his injury that he's dealing with. But the lumberjack matchup, fun match though, to be able to have a lumberjack match like that, have guys at ringside, and Jay White pulls it out in the end, with the newest member, with Devitt outside, with Brody King, with Drew Parker and Toru Fujiwara and Ishimori. It's House of Torture, sure. Did it look like things were not looking good for him? But now, just like that, Jay White's in the finals of this King of Pro Wrestling, and he'll be taking on Hayato Tamura as he knocks out Pac here in the finisher match, which of course he just hits his the jackhammer. For it to go 20 minutes is kind of crazy. To have a finisher match go that long, but I like the idea of Pac getting out of it. Every time he's trying to hook a the big jackhammer, Pac will land on his feet or get out of it some way somehow. Escapes with sweeping the leg, just even getting out of the ring, doing stuff like that. And the same thing for Tamura, Pac trying to get him with the Black Arrow, can't get it though. Tamura keeps on either rolling out of the way or just full on making sure if he's down, and he as far as Pac trying to leap up to the ropes and up to the top, but by the time he's already up, Tamura's already up. So that just kind of that idea, that psychology of it. But another upset for Tamura because of these injury differences. But the finals, though, Hayato Tamura and Jay White. But now we go into the title matches. As the U.S. title match, obviously Will Hobbs make his first defense as he beats Makabe with the Order of Business. It's 88. It's a good little matchup there. It's, Makabe with 89-80 for Will Hobbs. Making that his first defense, of course, of his U.S. title reign. In a 90 for our co-main event, as Jay White wins in the Iron Man matchup, 2 falls to 1. Jay White is your King of Pro Wrestling winner of 2027, and he actually did really, really well. Very, very proud of him. He's doing really well. Who knew that bringing Devitt back into the fold would be exactly what he needed? He gets the win there, and we go into our main event to see who Jay White will be taking on at Wrestle Dynasty. Will it be Hiromu Takahashi? Will it be La Sombra? And it will be La Sombra. We have a new heavyweight champion as La Sombra beats Hiromu Takahashi in 26-36 with a split-legged corkscrew senton. And we have a new heavyweight champion. So Sombra, Jay White will be our main event for Wrestle Dynasty. As, man, what a match. What a win. For Hiromu, of course, he won the belt at Wrestle Kingdom in 2027, of course. It's a long reign, from January to September. And felt like Sombra, this would be a great time for it. Don't think anyone saw it coming. Don't think anyone would have suspected something like this, where you have Sombra get his win. Sure, he fell short in the G1, but he wins the heavyweight title. So in the end, he still is a man of his word, and he becomes the heavyweight champion, first ever Mexican-born heavyweight champion of, of course, the IWGP heavyweight champion. Great stuff. Great stuff. As far as a very, very elated, happy, Los Ingobernables de Japón. I mean, they were kind of thought of an afterthought, probably, by a lot of people. Once Naito was kind of getting worse and worse, and, man, Sombra's really injected a new life into him with that win, and being the heavyweight champion is exactly what they need. And, of course, going into Wrestle Dynasty, though, they're taking on the House of Torture with Jay White, Prince Devitt, Brody King, and for Devitt and for Jay White, it's big embrace and saying that this is the man who brought me into the fold of New Japan, who's the one that told the office to give me a chance to take the Young Lion test, as far as working my way up and doing everything I can to make this man proud and make sure that I live up to those expectations. And for Devitt and Jay White, they're saying this is what we have built. Everyone has looked at the House of Torture, that we're falling apart, that we're not as strong as we once were. I think we're stronger than ever. We've got a couple of kings here. We got Brody King, got King Switch, and himself, and we got a man who was a prince, has left, and came back a king, King Devitt. So we have Kingdom of Torture. The new name, new change, the new look and the new logo, which is not really that new because it's the same font, but it's a little bit different. The logo at least, which you guys don't even get to see the logo. I guess we could show it off once we bring it up. But yeah, so Jay White pulling a fast one on Hiroshi Tanahashi as well for Devitt. Talking about the plan. Tanahashi wanted him to be the man that to call it down the middle, to be that strong hand, to make sure nobody was going to there's no shenanigans. They were going to get a winner, and to see who was the best out of the two men, so that he couldn't turn his back on his prized pupil, if you will, in Jay White. So, and also you tie in the Bullet Club stuff as well, as far as, which is kind of funny that Jay White is technically the last leader in this save since when Bullet Club ended. I thought about maybe potentially bringing it back, but I felt like Kingdom of Torture makes sense, which is kind of funny too, as I'm sure we'll get into potentially. Now, they went from having two houses to now two kingdoms. Of course, Kingdom of Strong Style with Shinsuke Nakamura, but a livid Tanahashi burst into the press conference as it's still going on, and literally has to be held back and saying, you son of a bitch, with Devitt, as far as he's, the naive babyface of, Tanahashi with is someone that thought that Devitt could be a man of his word, which obviously he shouldn't have trusted him. Here was a man that he saw firsthand what he could do to New Japan, creating the Bullet Club, and really, I like that kind of idea of, again, Tanahashi's really been getting, his first year as president has been a tumultuous one with some of the talent. Him and Sonata have had their blows. Him and Juice have had their blows. And now with Jay White as well. It's been tough for him. But he says, listen, you think you're going to pull a fast one at Wrestle Dynasty? Think again. Sombra and you, singles match, but I'm already putting it on the dotted line. There will not be any interference. Kingdom of Torture, whatever, House of the East, that's House of Torture, Kingdom of Torture, whatever the hell you want to call yourselves now, banned from ringside. So, we will see a clean main event potentially, unless there is some other shenanigans going on. But that is this episode, and that is King of Pro Wrestling 100, though, for the show, which, really no surprise, I guess, when you look at the main event being a 99, but man, talk about a great run for Pac, though. Had a 97 and 95. Jay White, though, had an incredible run as well. Great stuff. Very, very pleased with that. Definitely some love for Jay White, as it's his first King of Pro Wrestling, which a guy who has won just about every fucking thing you can, accolades-wise. And I think that's cool, too, to have Devitt help him out with that. Thought about putting over to Umeda, but I think I'm going to go Tamura and then Sombra. Actually, let's go Hiromu. Let's give Hiromu a hug. We'll give a bunch of hugs out, and actually give a hug to Sombra, too. He was great tonight as well. But what a great show. Hopefully Wrestle Dynasty can live up to that, though. I do think a Sombra Jay White match can be a great one. We'll see. As far as for the rest of the card, we're keeping it pretty close to the chest for now. But I'm sure we'll have an IWGP Tag Team title match. I'm sure we'll have a strong, open weight title matchup with Moxley. I'm sure we'll have a women's title matchup with of course, Kairi Hojo, who has defended her belt yet again, I believe, during this save. I think recently. Let's take a look. I believe it. Well, we got a user talent point unlocked as well. There it is. Yeah, she's had a Stardom match. Saturdays, it was a couple days ago. Pretty crazy. But yeah, Wrestle Dynasty now on the horizon. Let's, as far as we'll make the change here to end it out. The former. I believe we added it over here. I thought we put it under KOT. We must not have. It'd be funny if we didn't. Damn, we didn't. We didn't put it over here. Do we put it under KOT? We did. So yeah, Kingdom of Torture, which we put the little, the switchblade, the little snake. I kind of thought that was kind of cool to do. We'll go ahead and change Devitt's name as well. I was thinking maybe leader as well. I was kind of wanting to do like, it's weird because it is very much like an advisory role, kind of in a way, for Devitt. Because obviously at this point in 2027, he is up there in age for sure. Because he'd be 44, I want to say. 46. Yeah, he's up there. Up there for sure. But King Devitt is here. Bip, bip, bip. Kingdom of Torture. Yeah, so it basically is the same goddamn thing, logo-wise. But that will do it for this episode. Thank you all for watching again. It's a fun episode when we have a new champion like that. Hard to believe, Sombra, new champ. All the way back to the very first champion, Antonio Inoki, in 1987. Hasn't been a Mexican man who has been the heavyweight champion throughout that entire history. Pretty crazy. But it's changed here. It's kind of wild that Hiromu had a chance to at least have the most defenses since Okada. Which, yeah, that was 7 defenses, which is kind of crazy. But, yeah, I mean, as far as Sombra's first run with the belt, which is, it's the first time that we've had a first champ since Tyler Black, funny enough, which, of course, right now, that is the penciled-in main event for Wrestle Kingdom. Kind of crazy to think, as far as Tyler Black and La Sombra. And I'm sure we'll have an Intercontinental title matchup as well. Probably U.S. champ, or U.S. champ, probably U.S. title matchup as well, since Hobbs, as far as will be at Wrestle Dynasty. Feels like we need to have the U.S. champ be on the U.S. tour. But it was a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun, that show. We have the big turn, and, I'm sure we'll do a Monsters University match as well against the Kingdom of Torture, so that's going to be fun to see. And yeah, as far as that is on the horizon. So thank you all for watching, and we'll catch you guys next time. Take care, everyone.